This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Drippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hip Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Fraser Casella standing by. Caller 9-844-999. Ola will play Profile This coming up in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check-in to Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, police in New York are out for this guy who robbed an 81-year-old woman last week and then robbed a 4-year-old girl a few minutes later.
Damn, man.
81 and 4.
Well, again, to be fair, you can look out into the animal kingdom, and that is how it's done, Mike. Go for the old, the young, or the infirm, right?
I like to think that we're a little bit above the animal kingdom, but all right.
Have you seen our coworkers and what they leave in the kitchen and the bathroom?
This is a fact.
We clearly are not above the animals.
I mean, yeah. Thrill's right. Like, I didn't want to agree with that theory for years, but I've watched a lot of nature shows, and, like, even the biggest, baddest animals always pick on the littlest ones.
Right. I mean, it's the thing. You talk about a lion. And look, I'm not going to mess with the lion. And in no way am I suggesting that a lion's a big old hairy bitch. It's just the point that even when they hunt, the king of the jungle, in spite of not living in the jungle, still goes after the old, the young, or the infirm.
Mm-hmm. What do you rob from a 4-year-old girl?
That's kind of the bigger question.
Yeah, that's a good call, dude.
What does she have that you felt that you needed?
I mean, are you taking candy from a baby here, like literally?
If she had candy. I mean, she doesn't. Candy's the only thing I can think she would have.
Or was this poor little girl just heading down to the candy store with her piggy bank? She's been saving up for the past 3 years.
To buy candy?
All of her allowance. Oh, yeah, she's going to binge on candy, man. Going down to the old lollipop shop. They got the big old, big as your head lollipop. She's going to go down there and get them.
What year is this? She's going down to the lollipop shop to get a big lollipop?
Shop.
Yeah.
Jeez,
you ever been into a mall, Ted? They got the big lollipops in there.
All right.
I want to go in there and get one. I can't afford it. I've been saving for 3 years like she has.
Those big, like, multicolored ones are like yellow and green and blue. They were the worst.
It's just a commitment.
It really, man, and that's the other, even as a kid, you're like, man, I got to finish eating this before I graduate,
They were just a statement. You just, you held those in front of people to show that they didn't have them.
Yeah, to let other kids know your parents don't love you.
That's right.
Not the way mine loved me. That's why my parents never bothered me. They never bothered me. And this was the general theory why. My father, he continues to be and has always been a guy, his car, you could drop scrambled eggs in his car and you could still eat them off the floor and they were cleaner than when they hit it. If you had some big sticky thing and you were going to bring it in his car, it wasn't worth the trouble, believe me.
It's out.
Oh, yeah. He's like, you can throw it out, you can wait until tomorrow and I'll pick you up from the mall, but you're not bringing that sticky-ass thing in my car. Pure, and it was understood, man. It was understood.
A man in Michigan was arrested for firing several shots at a huge megachurch north of Detroit because he thought it was an alien spacecraft. And it does kind of look like a flying saucer. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Well, I'm glad to know that if aliens visit the Earth, our greeting is...
We're going to shoot them.
I mean, goddamn, man. Come on.
Yeah. You watch movies and there's really no in-between. They're just kind of studying us. They're either about to take over or they just want to coexist.
But we're going to shoot them. Yeah. That's what we do.
I don't think they're going to show up to be our servants.
We're here to bring you beer. Right.
Like study us, Ted. Or maybe abduct one or two of us.
But only white people.
Who out of us gets abducted?
Not me. They don't abduct black people. I don't know why.
I feel like it's down. I feel safe in this one. It's down to Miles and Mike.
More than likely.
Really?
It's going to be Mike. Because, Mike, you're more of the rural guy.
Oh, damn it.
It's never some dude walking in Brooklyn who gets... some dude, like, I was out quadding, man. It was a beautiful night. I looked up at the moon. Next thing I knew, I had a probe in my butt.
No looking me in the eye when I get that probe.
Oh, they're going to stare you right in the eye.
Yeah.
They're going to stare right in your eyes when they probe you.
Apparently, you don't know how aliens do stuff.
They just do it to make you uncomfortable. They're not studying anything. It's just that for them, it's like joyriding. They're like, oh, yeah, dude, probe a human's butt. They hate it.
Well, don't babies, isn't that how we take their temperature?
Yes.
So what if babies think we're aliens, man?
And I will say this.
Right? You're in another area, then you finally get freed out of it. There's these crazy creatures.
Big old
Insert
fat
this
heads.
in his anus. Oh, my. Welcome to planet Earth.
Put this needle in his foot.
Right. And cut this piece off of his belly button. Welcome to Earth. Put him under a heat lamp so he thinks we're about to eat him. Yeah, babies have to be like, Jesus Christ, man. This is the most terrifying freaking thing that ever happens.
He's thrown up. Continue to feed him.
Right, doesn't matter. He's trying to purge. Just keep shoveling food in his mouth. And make him sit in his own stool.
Yes.
Because we love you. I'll clean your face with my saliva on my thumb.
A company called Overflow Data recently posted the average commute times for each state. You guys have any idea what the top 3 are?
I'm going to guess California, New York.
I would say
Maryland or Virginia, just based on DC
Atlanta,
traffic.
maybe?
Massachusetts. Boston's pretty bad.
All right, Thrill, you hit 2 of them. New York and Maryland, and then New Jersey have the longest at just over 30 minutes.
New Jersey is New York, for the most part. It's just a big
Philly.
suburb.
Or Philly.
Yeah, I mean, like, they've got nowhere to go.
All right, any ideas on the shortest? I got the bottom 3 as well. Two of them are practically the same state as well.
How about Detroit?
Well, that'd be a
Michigan?
city.
I don't know. I mean, is it a state or a city?
Oh, they're all states.
They're all states.
See, it's hard to say if it's like North or South Dakota, only because...
It's both.
Both of those?
Oh, I was going to say like Rhode Island and Delaware.
Wyoming.
Proximity.
South Dakota, Wyoming, and North Dakota, they each have the shortest at about 17 minutes apiece.
Dude, I've been in a ton of traffic in Delaware. Because you got
yeah.
everybody from that crowded state
Philly.
of Jersey and Maryland trying to get through it.
Getting out of state. I think my commute time's like 20 minutes. I'm not doing too bad.
That's not bad at all, man.
I just assumed like North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming could be longer, not based on traffic, but I feel like that's a place, right? You know, you live 60 miles away from where you work, and that's
Yeah,
just how
places like that, you don't worry about traffic. What bums you out is you can't get an Uber home from the bar.
that is strong.
Gotta go 5 miles just to get off this guy's ranch.
When he says get off my property, it takes like 18 hours to walk. I'm like, well, goddamn, man, you have 8,000 acres.
He's running behind you with a shotgun the entire
Right.
time. I'm trying!
I'm doing what I can, man.
It says, parenting sure is fun, isn't it? Some guy's Twitter post is making the rounds after his daughter FaceTimed him from upstairs to tell him that her little brother went boom boom on their carpet.
Damn, man.
Why not just come downstairs?
I just wouldn't say anything at all.
Are we going to talk about the fact that little brother's crapping on the carpet?
Well, it doesn't say how old the brother is, Ted.
He was 17. That's when that
I mean, look,
becomes
the
the
daughter
story.
is lazy, but also, what's up with the son?
Yeah, given the difference between laziness and poops on the carpet a lot, I'm going to say lazy kid.
He's got one kid pooping on the carpet and one kid FaceTime from upstairs. When do we look at this father?
I mean, both of them
Yeah.
are lazy. The kid's not getting up to go to the toilet.
Unbelievable.
The kid won't even go to the bathroom.
And
Why
he
were
wiped
you
his
walking
ass
around
on the
without
pillow.
pants on, son?
There's a lot of questions in this
A
story.
lot of questions.
Where's the mom?
She's at work while Dad sits on the chair and drinks beer. Right. Says Texas Tech fans sometimes do a finger gun salute called Guns Up, which is okay at a football game. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Says, but a female student recently did it when she saw another fan at the Houston airport and got pulled out of line and interrogated by the TSA. What do you know? Shouting guns up in a Houston airport is not a good idea.
Even a finger gun, huh?
But it's a finger gun. Like, physically, a finger gun cannot shoot anything.
But you yell guns up, Ted.
That's where she went wrong, was yelling guns up.
Now, then again, it was in
What?
Texas. You'd think that they would know.
But the other end of that is now, it's not about, if you yell finger gun, if you yell anything like that, I get it. But now the TSA, I want to say across America, has made it so the finger guns are now illegal at airports.
Are they really?
I feel safer.
I want you to think about what this country's head is at.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, you
Jesus
can't do
Christ.
anything. It's a finger.
Give me all your money or I'll keep pointing at you. Please stop pointing here. If I'm
Give
on
me
a
this
plane
plane.
and someone's going to try to hijack with a finger gun,
let's just let
I
you
think
know.
I speak for a lot of people. I'll take care of that for you.
That just lets you know the state of the world we're in right now.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
it's
We're as
absolute.
counterintuitive as you could possibly be.
There's never been a dumber time in this country than right now.
No, it's impossible.
I mean, it's
Maybe that's how you
absolutely
get,
impossible.
Maybe that's how you get the drink cart back out when you hit a little bit of turbulence. Bring it back out.
or I'll keep pointing
I'll set this thing off.
and wiggling my thumb at you.
A couple in Pennsylvania is in big trouble for their method of transporting their cat.
What did they do?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now, but first, the Gay Bills.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Randy. Welcome to the men's room.
How we doing, gentlemen?
We're doing well, Randy. Thank you. Do you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. Here is your story. Now, something tells me that this particular woman did not have a great relationship with her mother. Just call it a hunch. There is a woman from Southington, Connecticut, and she died last week. Now, her 30-year-old daughter skipped her funeral. This woman skipped the funeral of her own mother. So you're asking yourself why? Well, because she was breaking into her mom's house at the time and stealing her mother's safe that had $90,000 worth of stuff in it. And when the mother's fiance got home after the funeral, he found that someone had broken into the house, so naturally he called the cops. They quickly figured out that the daughter had broken in, and they found her and her 27-year-old boyfriend staying at a motel. They were both arrested on theft charges. The question is, do you believe that this loving, loving daughter is black, white, Mexi, or Jew?
They're in Kentucky?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
That is correct.
Keeping $90,000 worth of stuff in a safe in Connecticut seems like a really old white lady thing.
Maybe. I will say this. When my grandmother died, she was the second of my grandparents to die. When my grandmother died, my mother and her 4 siblings then went to the house that I'd always known to be theirs. And under the bed, in shoe boxes, they actually found $90,000 in cash. Not $90,000 in stuff. $90,000 in cash.
Dope.
Damn.
Which means they found $150,000 in cash and told us that they only found $90,000.
That's a generation that doesn't trust the bank. Something
Can you
happened
imagine
along the
that?
way, the Great Depression, something happened. You know what I mean? Within that, where you say, like, you know what, I'm
Do
not
you
doing
trust
that.
the bank?
No.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't have enough shoe boxes to, you know,
Yeah, no,
stuff
the
under my
smarter
bed with
generation.
I will say this.
$30.
The mom's got it in a safe. The daughter's 30,
Yeah, she's 30 years old.
and she's been stealing from the mom, or wasn't at the funeral because she was trying to steal from the
Yeah,
mom.
she skipped her mother's funeral, so knowing, obviously, mom ain't home.
I'm just going white. That sounds kind of methy, heroin-y.
Wait, did you say was it her
That is
fiance?
exactly what I was thinking, too.
It was the mother's fiance.
Think about that they were going to get married that late in life, and
Right.
she somehow passed away. So
She
she
passed
must
away.
have thought, okay, well, mom's going to give all this stuff to her new boyfriend. I'm going to go steal it before any other deal. I'm going to just, for whatever reason, I'm going to go black. Just because Steve said his grandmother had all that money under the bed.
And that's all black people do. We
That's
hoard
right,
money,
hold
dog.
money under the bed in shoe boxes.
Yeah, I feel like this is one throne chair away from a Jerry Springer episode.
I'm with you, dude. I think Thrill's trying to throw us off with the
Okay.
shoebox
I'm just
money.
saying the truth,
You got
man.
to tell what's the final answer there.
White. I'm going to go white.
White final answer. We'll find out if she was black, white, Mexi, or Jewish next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
Profile this takes us to Connecticut and a woman who wanted some of her mom's money. Unfortunately, her mom had just passed away. And she was having a funeral. But instead of showing up to her mom's funeral, she went to her home, broke in, and stole the $90,000 in valuables that she knew that she had in her safe. She was promptly arrested with her boyfriend in a motel shortly afterward.
That is right. And Randy, we asked you, did you believe that this woman was black, white, Mexican, or Jew? Everybody had different opinions. And in the end, you stuck with white.
Absolutely.
You are correct, sir.
Had to be.
Very good.
And you're right. I did try to throw you off with my grandparents' story, but that is a true story. It's literally $90,000. My mother called me. I remember my grandmother died. My mom goes down, hey, me and your aunts and uncles, we're going to do what we got to do. I get it. And she calls me, and you can almost just tell by the tone of her voice, like, she sounded like kind of happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? She's like, your grandparents, who as far as we knew, were broke all the time, right? Because they did not live extravagantly. They had the plastic over the sofas, all the stuff the grandparents have, the one bathroom, blah, blah, blah. I was like, we found $90,000 in shoe boxes under their bed. It's like, what? She's like, no, that's what we said. We had no freaking idea. And the other thing they found out, they owned 3 other houses that they were renting out. And basically all those people paid in cash because no one in that neck of the woods does anything legal. So they got paid in cash all the time, put all the money.
Damn.
They had no freaking
That's what
idea.
Thrill's family found out they, too, can get sunburned. We're taking a trip.
Now, for all the TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon!
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Now, nowadays, there's a lot of stuff going on the news all the time. There's new channels everywhere. There's social media news channels, It's a lot of information.
It is.
But one of the sad stories that's been going on right now, and look, I fathom it doesn't matter to me if it's a rich neighborhood or not. You have a natural disaster, it's bad for everybody.
Right, doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah. So down in Southern California, outside of L.A., if you haven't seen this, they've had some terrible landslides that, have wiped out entire neighborhoods.
40-some people are still missing.
Right. They're just underneath that soot and everything, and they can't even find them. So what you're going to listen to here is a man named Mr. Franklin. Now, he's driving his Prius down the street. It's almost like a lahar.
It's a river.
Yeah, it's a
of
river.
mud.
Right, and it just sweeps him away, and here's him talking about it.
Pulling my shirt, nearly off. She's screaming, top of her lungs. We gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. Let's go, 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 go faster. Nothing I could do. It was like a torrent of water and boulders and rocks and mud. They're saying the basin up on top of the hill may not hold, so they evacuated everybody. When I got halfway down the hill, I just felt this burst of water. Now, what's not shown in the fire department video is after we hit that corner was when the car hydroplaned all the way down the hill. I had no steering, no brakes or anything. Right before the river goes into the runoff creek, I got traction and was able to go up the hill and get out of there.
He is flying through that neighborhood, by the way.
Right. Go to the Men's Room Facebook page and look at the video. It almost looks like a movie, like it's fake. Because the water starts trickling down, and then this Prius just comes, screaming around the corner on all the water.
It's almost like riding the wave of a tsunami or riding the wave.
Yes.
It was just, or an avalanche. It was insane.
Yeah.
And the guy's from Texas. He was there visiting or on vacation or something, and that's where you go to get away, and then all of a sudden the next thing you know, you're flying down a road, man. And
if it had been me, it'd have been like
a river of mud's.
All you need to know is, man, just watch the video, just understand the first thing I did was wipe my ass.
Yeah.
Wipe it. I'll wipe my ass for 20 minutes after that, man.
It's crazy, too, is you kind of forget, I shouldn't say everybody. I do sometimes, right? You grow up and you see L.A. and it's Hollywood and the Hollywood Hills and this and that. But I always forget, they're living on real hills. There's cougars. That, not old hot ladies. Physical cougars.
Actual cats that will attack you.
Yeah, eat your dogs. There's mudslides. You know what I mean? It's
forest fires.
They
all
built
this stuff.
massive city in the mountains. Part of it.
Yep.
Yeah. That is a good point. You always think beach, and then when you look at the sheer enormity of Los Angeles, you're like, the beach is just the one side that touches the water. The rest of L.A. is a massive city. And nothing but, man. There's not beaches everywhere. There's beaches in those areas and beaches nowhere else. And you're right. Everything else is mountains, hills, wildfires,
it's crazy, right?
mudslides.
When I went to Orange County the first time, it was just holy crap. We're literally we're hanging out on a mountain, and then we walk through a valley, and now we're at the beach.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
That's one of the reasons
I remember
why,
my beach shorts.
A couple of reasons why when you go into John Wayne Airport, that the airplanes make such quick descents, depending on which side you're coming from. And one of them is because you're in a residential area, and they're trying to keep those planes from, constantly going over people's homes. And the other is, geographically speaking, there's a ski resort, right
half
an hour away from there, basically up on the mountain. You see it coming down. You're like, I thought I was in California, and you realize how big those mountains are and how high they are. And then the plane, I've never had a faster descent in a plane other than the approach, probably in Montego Bay in Jamaica.
Or crashing.
Which is in a little Bay Cove area, man, and they drop that plane out. Same with John Wayne, man. They just say, all right, hold on, here we go.
Yeah.
Because of the mountains, man.
Yeah.
If you're a pilot, and look, I don't know, but if you're a pilot, do you love dropping into those airports, or does it terrify you?
Well, it's not your standard landing.
It's not your standard landing.
Right,
but
so I would have to think you like it.
But if that's the route that you fly, and most pilots fly to, however many years you do the same route, you do the same route. So if I'm a pilot, knowing that for the most part, right, obviously you're trying to bring comfort to your passengers, but also as a pilot, just like when you drive the car, every once in a while, if you know there's a stretch of road, you can gun it a little bit because you know it like the back end. You got to do it. So I got to think, if you're a pilot, isn't that the one you can't wait to land? Not because you're trying to freak out passengers, but you know how to do it. You've done it a million times. And because it's absolute control at that point.
I think it's a lot like, not the best analogy, but NASCAR. There's one race in Arizona every year where they do it on kind of a Le Mans Grand Prix type course.
Yeah.
You actually have to make a right-hand turn.
They
Now-
do a couple of them.
Now, if I'm a driver, I would look forward to those just because it's a different type of racing.
Go the other direction.
Dude, that was Jeff Gordon. Because they have the one, it's the something at the Glen or whatever. And like I'm pretty sure he won that thing almost every year. And
right, he's the one guy that could
right,
he's the one guy that could turn right.
He could dominate road courses. I mean, he was pretty good overall, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
He sounded like the worst NASCAR fan ever.
Oh, man, people hated him when he came out. Oh, he's good looking.
He finally came out?
No, once he came out on the scene. You know what I'm saying? He
I
finally
know.
came out.
That was always a big
Qualify
joke.
yourself.
Right, well, exactly. That's what it was. My wife likes him, so he's gay.
Well, remember, for years, he was the Rainbow Warrior.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he was.
All right, Friends, right? Thrill, I know you never watched it. Miles said you don't really care about it. I watched it. Do you think, when I say the word Friends to you, do you think offensive?
I know the story you're going to, and, like anything, it's hard, all right? So it's like, I know where the story goes, but it's just this. Any show that comes out, it reflects where the mentality was at the time, right? So I'm a huge fan of the old Bugs Bunny Warner Brother cartoons.
Right.
And it was what it was, and they originally aired these things before movies right after World War II and kind of during World War II. And when I was a kid, it was just comedy to me, and then the older I get, it doesn't bug me, but the older I get, you watch it and you're like, oh my God, man. Like, if you cracked that joke or made that stereotype today, people would freak out. So, to be fair, I don't remember the entirety of what the humor of Friends was, but obviously it stirred up something somewhere, right?
Well, there are a bunch of people who date each other and whatever.
Well, no, it's not because of that.
Oh.
It's mainly like people over in Britain, right? They're millennials, right?
Okay.
So they didn't grow up with the show.
Sure.
So they're just saying it recently hit Netflix in the UK, and basically people are just kind of talking about the show is they're shocked how much body shaming, transphobia, sexism. Oh, I guess you're right. Inappropriate relationships and homophobia it contains. But 1 year, Monica dated an old dude that knew her since she was a baby.
Okay.
And it had been the family dentist, which is kind of. But now, when I read
know
that,
all about that mouth.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have friends that I've known their kids since they were babies, and my one friend, his daughter is 25 and she's attractive, but
Sure.
I don't know that I could date his daughter. I've known her since she was
But the
a
way that
baby.
you see her, though, right? No matter
Right.
what, she's still a kid to you.
Right, so that was kind of the inappropriate one they were getting on. And then Chandler's dad was transsexual, so they made a bunch of jokes about that.
Look, man.
I don't know where, because here's the bottom line. Look, so there's, comedy's always going to be comedy. And also, I don't know. People know, what's right or wrong, but people also talk trash on each other.
People talk
It's
trash
part
about
of-
each other.
And I'm not saying that to insult people. I'm just saying everybody does it.
No, there's a way you can tell the joke without necessarily being insensitive. And like anything, all of us belong to a stereotype. Whether you fit the stereotype or not is irrelevant. That you've already been included in it, right? And if you have, I know identity politics is everyone's, I'm so special. You're not special. Nobody cares. But everyone insists that they're special and that we should care. Couldn't care less. And no one's trying to be insensitive, but still jokes are going to be made. And at some point, either we can't joke about anything ever, or you can understand that a joke is a joke.
Right.
It's one thing to insult someone. It's another thing to crack a joke. And there's a world of difference between the two. And you know the difference. You know the difference.
Right. Well, they even said, how about the one where Rachel hires an assistant that's totally unqualified just because he's hot and she wanted to date him?
That never
What's wrong
happens
with
in
that?
real life.
Right. I mean,
come on.
You ever
right,
been
it's
to a
we were
restaurant?
joking about yesterday about being good looking and broke. And that
Right.
guy emailed in and he was just like, yeah, look, I was poor, but I was good looking and I got extra stuff.
Look, there's
If
certain
you
truths
don't
out
think
there.
it's true,
Yeah.
you should take a look at what's going on in the world. If you don't believe, if you believe that some of these women, I can think of a couple of guys off the top of my head, and they shall remain nameless, but you know who they are. If you don't think the gold digger they're with is with them specifically for the money, do you think it's because of their personality, their charm, their sense of humor, the level of education, their warmth, their charisma? None of that stuff exists with these guys, right? But the one thing they do have is an S ton of money, and it's understood. It's understood. Hell, isn't there sugardaddies.com or sugarbabies.com? There's all this stuff. There's a reality to the world, and you don't have to like the reality of the world. But the beauty of reality is it doesn't care what you like. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was a child, sugar babies were just little versions
They
of
were
candy.
that you only got a Halloween or the movie theater.
Yeah, they didn't right. Some of those candies only showed up there, man.
If you never bought them at the store, but you got them every Halloween, and maybe when you went to the movie theater, you'd get them.
Yeah. Jimmy Fallon always has some good bits. This one's pretty awesome. It's just about people's tweets for the first date. No, he doesn't. Damn it.
What happened?
You know what? So Mike and I, we listened to this stuff before the show, but this one we had both individually already listened to.
Okay.
So frankly, we started having, as we were recording it in there, we just had a completely other conversation. So he probably just forgot to put it in. Because usually we're like listening to the joke and being like, is that good enough? Is that not good enough?
Right.
But this one we had both already listened to and approved.
So you kind of checked out.
Right. So he started recording it and I brought up something. I'm trying to remember. And you know me, it was probably something stupid about pizza.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
I don't know, Mike, if it's not the first date's
Something
not in it.
stupid about pizza. I like how it's like something stupid, and then you get specific. Like about pizza.
Right, but I'm saying it was probably something really dumb about pizza. Like, should I get...
Can you believe cheese? Can you believe that, man?
Crazy.
Cows would be
You ever
asking
get a
for
pizza
money if they
without
knew
cheese?
it was about. No.
Yes, you do. Whenever you go to one of those artisan places, they put like one little
okay.
thin slice of mozzarella, like, per
Again,
every 5 inches.
it's not artisan pizza. It's unqualified people with dough.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Thanks for the fresh mozz that's on the one piece over there.
Man, they got one of those places in town, and people used to rave about it all the time. And they had one by my house. And you
I
go
know
there,
exactly where you're talking
and the
about.
president
It
goes
sucks.
there, and it's the worst
yeah.
pizza
It's
in the
terrible.
world. People in New York would go and pee on the counter there. It's so bad.
It's not even pizza.
It's horrible.
It's dough with
Their
sauce.
tiramisu is dope. Everything else in there sucks. God, that place is awful. And by the time you walk out, you got like 2 pizzas for your family, and you realize the bill's $175.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the other thing.
How the hell did this happen?
Pizza, yeah, that could happen.
And they're like, is there something wrong with the meal? Like, yeah, I tasted it. This is crap. And you know it's crap.
It is crap.
You have to know it's
shoveling
crap.
this crap.
If you can't make a pizza round, you got no business making pizza. Sorry, man.
Well, I mean, old school pizza square. Good.
Okay, fine, Ted. It's a geometric shape. What I'm saying is
Terrible
artisan
and you
pizza.
know it.
It's not even a shape.
It's just not good pizza.
If your pizza
That's
looks
all
like a
it
little
is.
football, it's probably bad.
You could order better pizza from Domino's.
You can get it from Mama Celeste.
You could get better pizza anywhere. You could do pizza rolls in your house.
Miles, I know you'll be excited for this. Good news. NBC will show national anthem kneeling during the Super Bowl if it happens.
Oh, good.
I say good news because I'm being facetious, and this is a very decisive thing now. Like, honestly,
Learn the words to it before you have an opinion about it would be the first thing.
or
and then beyond that,
and honestly, like I get, but this was never shown on TV before. Like, I don't know. Is it necessary? Like, there's somebody there, Pink singing it. Show Pink.
Okay.
Huh.
yeah, but this is all about, hey, man, we want those hits on the social media afterwards, right?
Yeah.
That's what everything, and make no mistake about this. We're not saying this facetiously, but certainly in the world of TV where they have video to show you after the fact, if it can be a social media viral moment the next day, that is what they're going to show you. If a tiger shows up at the Super Bowl and mauls a baby, they're going to cut to that. Oh, not for that moment, but because the next day, that's what you're going to watch, and there's going to be a pop-up ad so they can monetize it. That is 100% for their motivation to do that.
Yeah, man. Pop-up ads are crazy.
And I know I've popped up on your whatever. I'm sorry. They don't even tell me this stuff. They'll tell me to do a video for something, right? And look, I'm not a big social media guy, so I don't know.
Now you're a pop-up ad?
Well, I know I have been, right? And but other people would tell me because I'm like, man, I hate pop-up ads. They're like, bitch, I was on the KISW website and your ass popped up. I'm like, did I? What was I talking about?
Huh?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Spend it all at the pop-up.
Wow.
All right. Good news. Jimmy Fallon has a lot of great bits.
He does.
Sometimes, Miles, what he does is he throws out to his audience about tweets, right? And then he'll read some of the tweets. So these are first date tweets.
Now I thought I'd share some of my favorite worst first date stories from you guys. This first one's from @SnookyCookie16. She says, at the end of the night, he acted like he was going in for a kiss, then put his whole mouth over my nose and blew into it. He laughed and said he does it to his dogs and calls it a puppy trumpet. Puppy trumpet.
Puppy trumpet.
This one's from Hotovi. He says, the first time I met my wife, she was convinced there were 52 states in the U.S. When I suggested there were only 50 states, she called her brother, who confirmed that there were, in fact, 52 states.
Smart family.
Hey, never gonna win,
they're
dude.
married.
You're never gonna win, dude.
Yeah.
He's married. Yeah, you know. This one's from Linda Childers1. She said, a friend once set me up on a blind date. I wasn't in a great mood because I had received a traffic ticket a few hours before. My day got worse when my blind date turned out to be the cop who gave me the ticket.
Oh!
What?
Come on. You? That's fate.
That's fake. Oh, my goodness. This one's from M. Fonda. She says, on our first date, the guy choked on an omelet and blew an onion out of his nose. Last one here is from Ash10G. She says, we had a mini makeout, then he fist bumped me and said, nice work.
Not on a first date, but I will admit, and I've talked about this before, I got in trouble once for throwing out a high five after sex.
Man, what kind of trouble were you in?
She just was like, hey, man, or not hey, man. She was just like, hey, like, we just had sex. Like, I'm your girlfriend. Like, I don't want a high five after sex.
Oh.
Like, save that for
so
your
you're really
friends.
not friends. You're just...
You know, we're not.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because friends, that would be... If you really were... And most people who are in a relationship are in a relationship with a friend.
Yeah.
So you weren't friends. You should have... That should have been your tell right there. Like, get me the hell out of here.
You ain't my friend now?
You ain't cool.
Well, yeah. All right. You're retrospect. You're probably right,
I'm right.
dude. But
yeah, you don't want to be with someone that uptight.
Yeah, but you still want to have sex with them. Even if you're like,
how about a dap?
She's uptight. There's no
see,
chance
I'm
this
weird
lasts,
about the dabs.
but-
I don't like the dab.
You don't want
women.
a dab?
So if she high
After
fived
sex?
you, you'd be cool. But if she went in for the dab,
If she went out straight up.
Fist pump?
Fist pump, yeah.
Well, if it's after sex, fist pump?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Me too. Right.
But generally, I don't know why. That's probably just a real sexist thing I do. I have no reason to back it up. I just generally feel like I leave the fist pump for buddies.
If someone calls you sexist because you're not big on giving a dap to a chick after sex, they seriously need to cool their jets, man.
They'll be texting.
There's so many worse things you could do, and if it comes down to you giving a dap to a woman after you had sex with her, and that makes you the bad guy, I got your back, Ted.
Thanks, homie.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. We got your headlines coming up in minutes with Mike Hawk. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Coca-Cola announces 4 new flavors and a new can so millennials will actually buy their stuff. Meanwhile, the mayor of Vancouver won't run for re-election because he can't afford to live there, which is pretty rough. Pennsylvania couple puts cat in luggage and tries to fly out of town. A micro-cheating manual includes dressing really nice when you think someone who is hot is around. And the Army goes to war with hockey. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story. We go to the Pennsylvania airport, where a couple transporting their 6-month-old cat are facing animal cruelty charges after they attempted to stow her in one of their checked suitcases for the duration of the flight to Tampa without food, water, or air. The bag was flagged during the checking process and was investigated by officials, and that's when they found the animal. She was turned over to the local Humane Society, and the pair were charged with transporting an animal in a cruel manner.
All right, well, you know.
Well, they zipped the damn thing up, and the cat was like underneath clothes. It didn't make any sense. What's even more shocking to me, this is an East Coast situation. Mm-hmm. These people are in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They're flying to Florida.
Yes.
I have never heard of anyone flying to Florida on the East Coast. You always drive down.
Of course,
we
right?
good for 49 hours straight. But it's too long of a 5-hour flight to come out and see you on the West Coast. But I was just shocked that they actually flew to Florida. Most people drive down there for the winter. They stay, it's just part of the lexicon of where you live.
Don't they put animals in a different part of the plane that actually, has pressure and air?
I really don't know, man. I would not want to put my pet down there.
No. Put them in a little carrier. Put them with your,
I know it's just it's the airline industry. In this country anyway, I don't think they do a good job with anything. So certainly not trusting the life of something I supposedly love and putting it out of my line of sight. I think it's a bad idea.
And I've seen how they handle bags down there, man. They're tossing them all over the place. That cat got lucky by getting found. Mm-hmm. Around the world, with sales dropping, Diet Coke is needing to change up their tactics in order to respond to a younger audience. They're bending to the wishes of millennials by creating all new flavors with sporty slim cans. They've come out with ginger lime, twisted mango, zesty blood orange, and feisty cherry in brand new cans that are supposed to closely resemble Red Bull cans.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
I just like
that they're bending to the will. You bend to the will of whatever generation's spending the money.
Exactly.
Right? You did it with Gen X before that. You did the baby boomers. You're going to do it to the ones after millennials. Like, right, if you want to stay in business, figure it out.
But I think Ted hit it on the head, absolutely, that millennials, they don't want soda. They don't want the sugar of soda pops. They want soda waters.
And what soda waters are right? They might drink an energy drink, but I just don't think they're sitting around sucking down sodas.
Not the same way people used to. Yeah.
No, I almost feel bad for millennials because they have so much more information. So, like, look, man, maybe you're healthy, and maybe we did all the unhealthy things, but goddamn, do we enjoy it?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know, so we did whatever we did. But it's like, man, they're so conscious of everything, which is good, but it also sucks the fun out of so many things. It's like knowing what's in the sausage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, when I was a kid, I'd get in trouble for it, but I mean, I just drank soda all the time.
Sure.
I didn't give it two thought. I remember when somebody told me there was a ton of sugar in juice, and I was like, no, man.
Who cares?
Juice is good for you. You can drink all this crappy orange juice you want.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's real
Real 5
fruit.
doctors smoke Camel. I mean, there's all that stuff. We're like, cool.
Police in Oakland posted on Twitter the latest attempt to drive in the carpool lane without getting caught, though it was really a weak attempt. Police stopped a car with a Chucky doll, like from the Child's Play movie, seated and buckled in the passenger seat.
Come on, man.
They posted the picture of the doll in the seat saying, A for effort, here's your carpool ticket. That's it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you for next time for the random question. Your guess is as good as mine, and another round to profile this.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, whatever the hell he said. Until we meet again, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.